Am I in the right spot?
You're in the right spot.
Get my good side up.
You're looking good.
I don't have a good side.
We got that beauty light going.
Yeah, you guys got all kinds of light stuff. I'm envious being a photographer.
Well, I will say there's a rough amount of just run and gun it too. You know, we don't always do the beauty lights. All right, are you ready to get started?
Yeah, I don't have spinach on my teeth or anything.
Let me look here. Smile at me. Yeah.
I'm missing one.
You're looking good. So I'm just going to start off by having you say your name and then spelling it out for me if you wouldn't mind.
I will. I'm Roger Dillon, D-I-L-L-O-N, and Roger is R-O-G-E-R.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Roger, how old are you?
Oh, I'm afraid you're going to ask that. I'm 69.
Okay.
Graduated from high school in 1969. Not here.
Where do you live currently?
Here, up the hill.
Up the hill. All right. Now, have you always lived here?
No,
Where did you move from?
I moved here from Houston, Texas. I was only there for a couple of years.
Okay. What brought you here to this area?
I bought the Current Wave.
Why?
Me and the bank bought it. The Current Wave newspaper. It's 146 years old. And I haven't been here the whole time. 36 years. 1984 is when I came.
And I mean, what brought you back to purchase the Wave? I mean, was there any reason or?
Well, I was in the newspaper business up at Lake of the Ozarks before I went to Texas. I loved the Ozarks. Wanted to come back to the Ozarks. This is definitely the Ozarks.
So would you ever think about leaving this area, do you think?
Probably not.
Why do you like it so much?
It's beautiful. The people are down to earth. I'm not a big city guy. Houston was definitely a big city. Eminence is not.
What's a normal day look like for you?
What does a normal day look like for me? Pretty much newspaper usually. I mean, there's just two of us. The staff right now is one. It used to be 1.5 staff, but so it's usually something to do with the newspaper. But you know, publisher and reporter and photographer and paper boy and lots of hats.
What do you like the most about living here?
The beauty of the Ozarks and the people, I guess.
What's like your favorite, like, beautiful thing? Can you give me an example of something
Sure.
that you...
Rocky Falls. Surely you guys have been to Rocky Falls. And I like Blue Spring, and all the springs that are absolutely amazing. Alley Spring, of course, and Alley Mill, beautiful. And my wife is beautiful too.
What do you think is the hardest thing about living in Shannon County?
The hardest thing? Probably making a living.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Well, we are one of the poorest counties in the state. There's not a lot of opportunity. It's been said that our two major exports are timber and high school seniors. A lot of them have to leave because there's really not a whole lot of opportunity. You know, we don't have a lot of industry. Other than that,
Now, what do you do for fun?
for fun. Well, I like golf and hunting. Deer season and turkey season. We have 4 seasons here. We have deer season, turkey season, bass season, and tourist season.
What's your favorite season of those?
Well, for making money, tourist season. Turkey season.
And why is that? Why do you like turkey season?
Well, because it gets you out there, and one of the most beautiful times of the year. You're out there at dawn. And it's peaceful and beautiful, and the birds are singing, and everything's coming out. Hopefully, there's a turkey or two gobbling out there with a little luck.
Do you think that folks from the Ozarks are special people? Would you say they're unique?
Yeah, most of them.
What makes them unique? What makes people from the Ozarks unique in your eyes?
Their independence. They're friendly to most of them. You know, I mean, no place is perfect. I mean, right? But they're just down to earth people. And
is there like an example of that like sticks out in your mind of like just folks going out of their way to be friendly to one another?
well, I noticed when I first come, like I said, I've been living in Houston, Texas, and everybody waves here. Everybody makes eye contact if you're walking down. You know, you at least nod your head, whatever. That doesn't happen in the big cities. You know, people don't make. Everybody's strangers. You're surrounded by strangers in a big city, and here you know everybody. Most of them, anyway.
Well, and do you like knowing everyone?
Sure.
Newspaper guy, I'm sure that makes your job nice and easy to.
It does, and makes it harder sometimes too. When the hard news, when you have to report on a friend that's met his demise or is in jail.
Is there something that your family has done for like a long time that you're still doing today?
Family-wise, I've been in the newspaper business a long time, and our daughter-in-law now is taking over for my one staff member. She recently passed away, and Gayla stepped in and done a wonderful job of filling that huge gap, because I needed somebody right away, and she didn't have any newspaper experience. She's taken to it like a duck to water.
Well, and how does that feel getting to work side by side with your daughter?
Well, good so far.
Is there anything that like keeps you going every day? What is your motivation?
Well, the newspaper for one. I mean, you got to put one out every week, whether it's a good week or a bad week or whatever. That life.
You know, I come from a news background, so I understand why news is important, but why do you think news is so important? We keeping the current wave together. Why is that such a priority?
Well, there's a lot of tradition, 146 years old. And it's a community newspaper. I mean, a lot of it is, because we don't have much staff, a lot of it is contribute people. We have a local columnist and a church page, which they all submit that. And I just think newspapers are important in these small communities. Ours was started in 1784 by Jake Wingo, who reportedly come down from Salem in a buggy or a wagon with his wife. They supposedly were stopped or hung up in the current river. She looked down and saw it through the spokes of the wagon wheel making waves, and she said, "How beautiful those are," and he supposedly said, "I'm going to call it the current wave."
That's a lot of history.
Well, it's still going 146 years later.
Is there anything that you just want people... What Andy's wondering is, how are you keeping this paper together moving forward as all newspapers nationally struggle?
Very carefully. Well, because we're small, that helps. I mean, and Missouri Press Association has helped a lot, and loyal subscribers and advertisers. Made it through a couple of recessions, pandemics.
Well, and where do you see the future of the paper?
Well, hopefully there'll be a renaissance in the newspaper business. I think, now that we don't have a president that calls us the enemy of the people, maybe things are going to turn around. I don't know. The economy comes back around, and we were also considered essential workers during the pandemic, and I think a lot of people come to realize that. You need a source of local information, and there have been local papers that have gone out. The Mountain View Standard just went out last year. It's been around for a long time. The current local is in Van Buren. They're doing well. So there's hope.
Well, and what about the future of the area? I know you guys had one of your best tourist seasons last year.
We did, and I think that it's going to be another good season this year. Tourism and timber is basically our industries, and I think they both have a good future. Forestry is a big thing around here, and that's a long-term thing. Because of that, I think the timber industry will be strong. The tourist industry, I think, will continue to grow.
Is there anything that you want people to know about this area?
It's a great place to visit and a great place to retire. We seem to have people come and want to retire and live here. And it's great for that. Yeah, come on down.